So we're going to go over how to graph a system of inequalities. So we are going to need this to do our system of inequalities, using those to maximize profit next. So make sure you do know how to do this. We're going to follow the arrows at the top, giving us the steps of what to do. So remember, we have 4 types of inequalities. We have our less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So depending on which inequality it is, this will determine what kind of line you're going to use to connect the points once you graph them. If it's strictly less than or greater than, you use a dashed line. If it's allowed to equal, so it has the bar underneath, then you use a solid line to connect. You want to make sure you are in slope-intercept form. So remember your slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. You've got your slope, your rise over run, and then your b is your y-intercept. That's where you start your graph. You're going to treat it like it's an equation, even though it's an inequality. Okay, so let's start with that point, and then we'll do the rest of this here. So for right now, we know that this has a slope of 1 over 2 and a y-intercept of negative 3. So we start our graph at negative 3. We rise 1, run 2, rise 1, run 2. It is allowed to equal, so it's greater than or equal to here. So we're going to go ahead and make a straight line, solid line, right through those 3 points. So we've graphed that part. Now, because it's an inequality, we are at this point where we want to test. You want to pick a point not on the line and see if it makes this inequality true or false. The easiest point to use, in my opinion, is 0, 0. Because if you sub in 0 and 0 for x and y, remember your x comma y always. So 0, we're testing if this is true or false. Is this true? Is 0 greater than or equal to 1/2 times 0 minus 3? So is 0 greater than or equal to negative 3? And since the answer is yes, you shade in that side with the 0, 0. So all of this over here is a solution to this inequality, because that gave you a true answer here. Okay, so because that was true, you shade in that side. All right, and then we're going to do our second inequality. So same thing. We have our slope and our y-intercepts. We start at 2, put a point there. We go up 2. This time we run to the left because it's negative. If we go down 2, we go the opposite way. This one is not allowed to equal, so we use a dashed line. And then again, we're going to test a point. Again, I'm going to test 0, 0 because that's an easy one to use. I put 0 and 0 in here. So is 0 less than negative 2 times 0 plus 2? Is 0 less than 2? The answer is yes, that is true. So again, we shade in that side with 0, 0. And our overlapping region here contains all of the solutions to both of these. So that means that anything in yellow and green works for both. So an example of a solution would be something like negative 1, 0. If you put that into both of these, right, it would work. Same thing, anything in this area here that's shaded from both graphs will be a solution to the system of equations.